Hi, my friend Essi. Thank you so much for joining us. We're doing a pop culture special report here for Front and Center. So glad to have you here. You joined us on the Front and Center show. We're joined with Essi Bagheri, author of Shattered Soul, the true story of a child soldier. And why we wanted to do a pop-up special report was that our country did a drone strike on Iran, which is where you are from, and you were a child soldier in Iran. And so, can you give us a little bit of context about what happened first?
Uh, First of all, thanks for having me on your show, Jackie. And it's always pleasure to be in your presence. Um, my You want me to tell you a little background information first?
You want to tell us a little bit about your story first, how it relates? Sure, I'd love to hear that.
For sure. As you know, maybe some of your audience don't know that when I was 13 years old, I was kind of got into the brainwash into the Revolution Guard, Basij, which we call it, and after months of training, after I saw the battlefield and see my friend blown up front of me, I had change of heart, and as a result of one of the explosion throw me a few meters away. I came conscious and I didn't want to blow myself up, so I shot myself, and the rest is history. And many years later, and it's unfortunate what we see today in our countries.
Yes. So, can you give us a little bit of like cultural like understanding of the politics that are going on in Iran?
Of course, you see, this is something that, first of all, as you know me, Jackie, I'm all about peace. I'm all about love.
Yes.
I'm all about how can we be more loving, more compassionate. Unfortunately, uh, our government is completely different, and in Iran right now, as I was raised, basically I was in the Revolution Guard uh, for years, and the mindset and the way that we trained, and it's uh, it's not me today. It's not me
Of course
today.
not. Of course not. And I would not simply not inferring that at all. In fact, your personal story is one of being born into a culture where children are siphoned into service of being a soldier or a killing machine before they even have the possibility of a conscious decision to sign up. So it's not even you had no choices from how you were born and how you were raised, which is what your book is about, Shattered Soul, the true story of a child soldier. Is and why I appreciate the willingness of you to have the conversation is that it helps us contextualize the understanding of how war is fought over there and how it's
Mhm.
active and what that looks like. So when the president of the United States does a drone strike at the Baghdad airfield, killing an important general, it helps us understand what the politics or the government or the war machine is that's over there, and not making political statements about it. It's just this real life as
Mhm.
is happening right now, and that's where you were born. You were born into that
Yeah.
culture.
Yes, Jackie, you're totally right. The thing is, first of all, I'm very I'm very sad that that happened, and and the reason I'm sad because I'm not, as you know, I'm not a political person. I'm not citing anybody, but what I know about the consequences that will happen is not if or but, because the mindset that I know, especially about you're talking about, you know, Qasem Soleimani. It's one of the biggest name in Revolution Guard, and people would die for him. And you're talking about the things that I'm very afraid of. What comes next? And you know, and my heart goes to the people in both sides.
Of
It's not
course,
about
especially
it's both
civil. I
sides.
mean, especially civilians. You know, civilians are
Civilians.
always at the mercy of governments and military. You know, it's tragic. And what I appreciate about our conversation is that you help contextualize, you know, a complicated, for me, it's still a complicated story. I've been listening to since, you know, I was born over
Yeah.
here in the States, you know, the heat and the war between the Middle East, and, you know, war between Iraq and Iran, and who's the good guy and who's the bad guy. I mean, all of that honestly has been confusing my entire life. That goes on. I know that the Middle East itself is a particularly coveted and hot spot on the planet.
Yes.
And I know that what I in reviews that I mean news that I was reading today, that Donald Trump was saying that, you know, this isn't you know, an attack on isn't a strike for war. It's actually, you know, trying to put out potential war coming this direction is the understanding.
That's
But
right.
what I hear you saying is there's a lot of loyalty involved with the general that was killed, and his number two.
You know, when you're talking about the Revolution Guard, and I can assess, I can say few words regarding that, because it's not just normal people. It's not normal army. It's something that I don't know how to put it in the word, but people will die for his cause, and something like that happened. That's why I'm very sad and very it's very unfortunate this happened. I would pray that there would be some kind of somehow that would be resolved. But the fact is, you're dealing with people that, you know, in Lebanon, in Syria, in Iraq, in Yemen, and the people, the proxies, and you're talking about millions of people that they're really angry, and these are people that, right or wrong, they have certain beliefs that they act in those that certain beliefs. And at once I was one of those people that I would die for the cause. And my heart, as I said, my heart goes to people that as a result of these consequences, that I am pretty sure it's not even months. I'm talking about weeks as far as the revenge goes, and and I'm praying that hopefully nothing will happen.
And you were able to make your escape as an early teen from Iran and from
Yes,
the revolution.
yes, as you know my story, that's why I wrote the book Shattered Soul, the true story of child soldier, and it's not just a war story, it's my experience, and that's why everywhere that I speak of you know, about love. And unfortunately now we're living in a society, Jackie, as you know, that that can be really manipulative. And our government, either, you know, as I said, I'm not a political person, but I'm thinking about, I have family in Iran, all my sisters, my
Mhm.
mom, my son, all the, and then on this vice versa, I have friends like from here, from US and Canada, and I have my best friend, my few of my best friends are Jewish, and people are killing each other, and I just I'm speechless.
And I think we all feel a little. I think we all feel sad, and my deepest, my heart goes out to the well-being of your family and your you know your country, and people that are there. I mean, nobody likes to see this happen at all, and it's completely unnerving. I think for all of us too, to witness it. I don't think it feels good. And now can say that I had the bugaboos yesterday. I was like, I had that
Mhm.
nervy feeling, and so wasn't surprised to see something, you know, dramatic has happened today.
Yes, it's right now it's too early to say anything about that incident, Jackie. It's like uh, it's very, as I said, I continue saying that it's very sad and unfortunate, and I don't know what's the um, what's the result will be, what the consequences be. But knowing and being in a revolution guard and being in a passage and being in that mindset, I have some idea. I have some idea that it's not going to be it's not going to be good, and I'm praying that that nothing will happen, and that's all we can do as a civilian.
Thank you, Essie. Thank you so much for talking with me, author of Shattered Soul, the true story of a child soldier. And feel free to comment, like, subscribe, ask questions. And thank you so much. And yeah, we're going to just pray for peace.
Yes, thank you for having me on your show again, Jackie. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay,
Essie.
have a great day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.